So it was the era when flared trousers met Moog synths, and Britain's most adventurous bands suddenly found themselves on primetime TV. Now, from cosmic chaos to cathedral-sized choruses, these are the top of the pops performances that took progressive rock to the masses. Stay tuned, you might just be surprised who hit the chart. Now, for you purists out there, some of these in this collection might not be capital P prog, but you can call me out in the comments later. And for reference, these were suggestions made by you guys out there. Starting in March 1970, when King Crimson brought absolute chaos to the top of the pop studio. Cat Food was their only ever appearance. It's a jagged jazz rock single that refused to play nice. The band's complex rhythms and surreal lyrics stood out amidst the bubblegum hits of the day. Viewers were divided, some baffled, others electrified by the sheer nerve of it. Not surprisingly, the single didn't crack the top 20, but it proved that prog could crash pop TV. Today, though, that minute of madness is one of Top of the Pop's most legendary oddities.
No use to complain if you're caught out in the rain.
Also in 1970, Rare Bird brought a different mood to the show. A sombre, soulful and sincere piece of music. Their song, Sympathy, only reached number 27 in Britain, but it soared to number 1 across much of Europe. The song's haunting organ line and humanist lyric gave it some quiet power. It was a refreshing moment of thoughtfulness amid chart glitter. Now, that plea for compassion feels just as urgent today. And though the band faded soon after, Sympathy really remains one of the prog's most heartfelt anthems.
Sympathy is what we need, my friend.
Family's appearance in August 1970 was one of raw, unpredictable and utterly riveting nature. The Weavers' Answer wasn't a huge chart hit, but on stage it became legend. Roger Chapman's cracked, soulful voice and jerky stage moves made safe television really feel quite dangerous. The song's theme, Life as a Tapestry Woven by Fate, really gave it rare, lyrical depth. A Family might not have conquered the charts, but they really conquered hearts. Their moment captured the raw drama of British prog at its peak.
For 1 second, one glance upon your loom, flower of May.
In 1971, heavy riffs had found a home on the BBC, and Tomorrow Night stormed to number 11, fusing virtuosity with hard rock muscle. Vincent Crane's Hammond organ took centre stage, fiery, gothic, unforgettable. The band mimed furiously on Top of the Pops, all attitude and organ swells. It gave British hard rock a new sophistication. And for a brief, glorious moment, Atomic Rooster really did rule the roost. Now, Rod Argent's Post-Zombies project hit gold in 1972 with Hold Your Head Up, and this powered to number 5 on both sides of the Atlantic. Its commanding Hammond riff became one of rock's defining keyboard moments. The performance showed a band in full control, precise, positive and powerful. Audiences sang along to the simple message of self-belief. Half a century on, it still uplifts every time that riff kicks in. Now, in July of 1972, Hawkwind rocketed onto Top of the Pops with Silver Machine. This was a live clip spliced straight from their space rock circus. The song blasted up to number 3 in the UK chart and decided cosmic achievements for such an underground band at the time. Lemmy's distorted vocals and that relentless motoric groove captured the sound of the future. BBC viewers had rarely seen anything so wild, a psychedelic happening in the middle of tea time TV. Its mix of sci-fi energy and street-level attitude really made Hawkwind cult heroes overnight. Half a century on, it still sounds like the birth of heavy space rock. Ten-cc arrived in 1973, armed with razor-sharp wit and studio polish. Their track, The Dean and I, reached number 10 in the UK. It's nostalgic doo-wop pastiche, both a love letter and a parody. The band's clean-cut image contrasted perfectly with their sly humour. The harmonies were tight, the smiles ironic. Critics hailed it as proof that pop could be clever and catchy all at once. But in just 3 minutes, 10cc became the thinking person's chart band with just a tint of prog in there, thrown in for good measure.
Hey kids, let me tell you how I met your mom.
Nothing prepared the British viewers for Sparks in 1974 with This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us. This shot to number 2, driven by Russell Male's operatic vocals and Ron's motionless stare. Their Top of the Pops appearances became instant pop culture moments, part theatre, part panic attack. The track's gunshot effects and melodrama felt more Hollywood than Hammersmith. It made Sparks the most talked about act of that summer. And it proved that the weirder you were, the bigger you could get. In spring of 1976, John Miles stepped up with Music, an anthem that declared, "Music was my first love." The single soared to number 3 and turned Miles into an unlikely star. He was backed by a full orchestra, and he delivered one of the most emotional performances in Top of the Pops history. This song blended rock passion with symphonic grandeur, and it earned him an Ivan Novello Award and massive European success. Decades later, it still closes his concerts really as a statement of pure devotion. A year later, in 1977, we have Yes, who unveiled their softer side. Wonder Stories climbed to number 7, their highest UK chart placing. And the band's video was aired on Top of the Pops, bringing a dreamy, almost spiritual calm to the countdown. Acoustic guitars and John Anderson's pure vocals replaced the long solos of old. And for newcomers, it was an accessible gateway into Yes's world. For long-time fans, it was proof that prog's beauty could really still shine in just 3 minutes. And in 1978, Renaissance finally broke through with their Northern Lights. The adorable Annie Haslam's ethereal voice floated over lush orchestration, and the single climbed to number 10. Their Top of the Pop spots in both July and August of that year showed prog's gentler, really more romantic side. The performance shimmered. She was elegant, almost celestial. The silver disc soon followed, making it their biggest hit. And for many, Northern Lights was the sound of prog gracefully stepping into the pop world. So from Hawkwind's cosmic clang to Renaissance's soaring grace, these performances showed how progressive rock once ruled Britain's biggest pop stage. If only for a brief moment, the complexity and showmanship was met with mass appeal, and the results were unforgettable. Which of these moments were your favourite? Let me know below, and keep your head up because the music really never does die. Now this is the 4th video in the series, but if you want to go back to the first one, well, that's on screen for you now, and I'll see you over there.